you recently said that Americans should purchase electric vehicles so they never have to worry about gas prices again.
No, that's not exactly what I said. And I only raised that because I can't help but notice that some folks are very eager politically to make it sound as if we're not attuned to the affordability issue of EVs, when actually what I'm saying is that we need to make EVs more affordable and to put out that national charging network, because we know that if a family can afford to take advantage of EVs, they never have to worry about gas prices again. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's where we're coming from on this.
Well, right now, I think, as you know, the average cost of an electric vehicle is somewhere in the neighborhood of $55,000, whereas a normal compact car is about half of that price. How are you ever going to be able to bridge that gap and make electric cars actually affordable for Americans within the time frame that you're speaking about?
So again, first of all, let's take an objective look at where we are. The average price of electric vehicles includes a $180,000 Porsche model that certainly not something I've ever seen out in the wild. Let's look at what's out there in terms of, for example, these electric pickup trucks that are coming out from the OEMs in Detroit. Seen a lot of Super Bowl ads around those. Those start in the neighborhood of $40,000. Now, $40,000 is still too much for a lot of American families, which is exactly why we have proposed, through a system of tax credits and incentives, a way to reduce that upfront price to bring it into effectively the high 20s, depending on how and where that vehicle is made. These proposals are about making those EVs more affordable, knowing that the more Americans buy them, the more produced, the more you get those economies of scale, and then they become cheaper as we go. But that's exactly why we need to promote these kinds of policies. Now, I will say, the first electric vehicle that Chasten and I ever had was a Ford C-Max. We got it used, but not that used, and it cost us about $14,000. And we plugged it in the regular wall plug in our garage in South Bend, Indiana, and it was a plug-in hybrid, which meant that for most of our driving around the city, we never had to use gas. If we took a road trip, then we had to buy gas. And so I think another thing we have to do is just demystify EVs, that they're not all these super high-end luxury vehicles, and that while fast charging is something we've got to do a lot of work on, if you're fortunate to live in a single-family home, you already have charging infrastructure for these things. It's called the plug in your wall.